What's up, guys? Welcome to your 41st tutorial for the new Boston. And what we're going to do in this tutorial is basically finish up our application, and we're going to briefly talk through everything, and we're also going to learn about permissions in this tutorial. There's quite a few things, but it's going to be pretty simple, and I did check it on my phone. Basically the emulator is messed up in the last tutorial. I don't know if it can't use the camera application or what, but it does work on my phone anyways. So what we're going to do now is basically get that image or this bitmap that we collected from the data that was received after our camera application finished. We're just going to set that picture to the actual phone's background, even when they aren't using our application, the wallpaper of the actual phone. So it's going to be pretty simple. Now that we have this bitmap set up, we're going to use a bitmap to set the application or the wallpaper of the actual phone. So how we can do that is we're going to say get application, and I'm sorry, this is within if our other button was pressed, our set wallpaper button was pressed, that's where we're setting this up within that switching case in our onClick method. So we're going to say get application context, and that's going to be a method that gets the context of our phone, and we can use some methods on that. And there's one called set wallpaper. Pretty self-explanatory of what that does. So we're just going to scroll down. I was just seeing if there's some other ones I could show you guys. Set wallpaper. As you can see, it takes a bitmap, and we're just going to put our bitmap in there called BMP and finish our statement. And it's going to give us an error because, again, this is something kind of sketchy. It might not always work. So we're going to have to surround a try and catch with it. So just click that, and it's going to put it within a try bracket and catch the exception, input output exception. That's what that stands for, and then it's just going to print it to the debugger or throw it around. So there we go. We pretty much finished this application, and the only other thing we need to do is, because we are setting the wallpaper, we're going to have to add a permission. And I briefly talked about this in the past, but we do that within the Android manifest. So again, we open up the manifest, and there's this permissions tab right here. So we're going to add a permission to our application, and we're just going to say uses permission, and we can scroll through some of the permissions that we can use. And now there's a permission within this called Android.permission set wallpaper, I believe it is, something like that. But yes, set wallpaper. And you're probably wondering, maybe you aren't, but I just wanted to talk about it. You're like, okay, so we can use the camera, we can send emails, and we don't need permission for that, but we need permission to set the wallpaper. Well, basically, the reason we don't need permissions for those two other things that we've done, such as such as sending an email, and what else? What did I just say? Man, it is getting too late. It's like 4 in the morning right now. Basically, those other two things, setting an email and using the camera, we can use those because we aren't actually defining those activities. Those are kind of standard activities, and to use those activities when they created basically the email activity, that's where they set up those permissions. So we're just using a different activity for the most part, or a different application altogether. Same with the camera. So if we set up our own custom camera, we'd probably have to use a permission for that. But the only permission we need to set up for application is to set the wallpaper. So we're going to add that and hit just enter or whatever. And then when we go into the manifest, you see they add that right here, right outside our application bracket. So if you guys feel like typing it out, you can type it there, or again just right below our application right here. That's where I generally set mine up, but when you do it through the easy tab right here, sets it up above it. Not a big deal. So our application works. I'm going to run it on my phone and show you guys some of the errors that this application has, and then we're going to fix those errors in the next couple tutorials. So alright, what's up, guys? So here's our camera application that we just set up, and basically, I don't know if you can see. Alright, so we're going to try and take a picture, and it opens up our camera activity, as you can see here. I'm just going to take a quick pic, and then it's going to say, is that okay, or is that okay, are you guys done? We're going to say done, and there, oh dang it, well, there's one of the errors that I wanted to show you guys. Basically, when we tilt our camera, that picture goes away, But just to show you guys that this activity or this application actually works, I'm going to take a picture like this and then hit done. And as you can see, there is our image view right here, and it has that picture I just took. And then we can say set wallpaper, and we're gonna add like a little display so it gives the person using the application a little bit of security that it did set the wallpaper. But I wanted to show you guys the error that if it tilts, it goes back to our default image up there. So that's something we have to get rid of. And then also another thing that we can do that's a problem, oops, as you can see, once it has that default bitmap right there and we hit set wallpaper, it's going to force close our application. But as you can see, I'm outside of our application now. I'm in my actual home page, and it has that picture set as the background. I don't know if you can tell that. Looks pretty blurry and everything, but that's fine. So our application for the most part works. We're going to fix some of those errors in the next tutorials. So I'll catch you guys then.